Welcome. My name is Anastasia. I'm your wellness coach and I specialize in self-care and stress management. If you are an overwhelmed parent who has so many tasks on their list throughout the day and you're not sure which task to run to, this video is for you. If you're an overworked professional in a corporate world who keeps on taking tasks just to be noticed and for advancements, and you don't have room to breathe at the end of the day, this video is for you, because the topic of today's video is going to be on how to say no to your commitments and not to feel guilty about it. Tip number 1 is prioritizing your tasks. I created a free downloadable template for you how to prioritize your tasks and to manage them like a pro. It's super easy to follow. It will probably take you about 2 minutes. It's super easy to understand. It's in the description of the video, but the basics of it is looking at the tasks for the day, just dumping them on a piece of paper, and then prioritizing them or dividing them into 4 columns. First column is important and urgent. For example, I'm also a nurse practitioner, and if I have a critical lab that requires my immediate attention, everything else will be stopped and I will be working on that task. Next column would be urgent but not important. So perhaps I received an email from my student or from my colleague that does have a deadline, yet it does not require my immediate attention, and maybe I can commit to it at the end of the day, a couple of minutes, or maybe even the next day. Another column is important but not urgent. An example that I can think of would be our upcoming trip to Greece in August, and so this is super important for me to have a good time and relax. Yet if I don't do it today or even tomorrow, I know I will dedicate some time over the weekend to look at things in Greece, the local restaurants and the guides, and I'm not gonna be overwhelmed today about it. And last column is neither important nor urgent. Essentially, those are tasks that ideally could be delegated. For example, laundry. I can ask my husband or my son to help me with that, or maybe our finances allowing us to have somebody to come and help and do our laundry. Tip number 2, being honest and direct. When somebody is asking you to take on another task that you absolutely have no time for or energy, just being honest and saying no. How do you say this in a nice way though? I found personally helpful phrases, something like, I appreciate you thinking about me, yet my schedule is so full and I can't do this right now. Or, I appreciate you thinking of me, my schedule is so busy currently, I just can't take another task. And yes, sometimes people hearing no would be in shock. And so then it leads you to the next important tip about guilt. Before we get into guilt, I want to say that it is super important to practice saying no, because you probably heard that practice makes perfect. The more you practice, the more confident you get. And just remember, you probably practice some presentations for work, or maybe even in school, you practice some PowerPoint presentations. So this is the same. Practice for yourself. Maybe you can play that scenario in your head, or maybe practice in front of the mirror. The more you practice, the more confident you will get, and the more receptive other people will be, because they will hear that confidence in your voice. Tip number 4 and the last one. This is about guilt. So when you say no to other people, you probably think bad of yourself, as if you're a bad person because you said no. In that moment, stop yourself and remind yourself that by saying no to somebody else, you're saying yes to yourself. And isn't it how it should be in the first place? That your well-being is number one priority, that you get to breathe, you get to maybe balance things versus other people. Because when you say yes to others, you're saying no to yourself. To sum it up, prioritizing your tasks for the day, you can use my free template that I created for you. Saying no with special phrases, something like, I appreciate you thinking of me, yet my schedule just is not allowing me to take on another task. And reminding yourself that your self-care matters, you are the priority, and if you say no to another person, you're saying yes to yourself. If you found this video helpful, I would love for you to hit the like button, maybe even subscribe. If you have any questions, I'm here for the support, and I will see you next week.